What positive impacts do you think will come from COVID-19? I think a lot of people are realizing how terrible some of their relationships have been, whether it be with employers, spouses, family, etc. And I think a lot of people are just taking a lot less shit from people. I also think so many have revisited past hobbies, or taken up new ones, or truly became reacquainted with feeling at home in their homes. I think both these things will result in a lot of people just slowing down and reassessing what or who is worth keeping around in life. I know that's certainly been the case for me. I also think a large number of people who have experienced working from home will now refuse to make commuting a part of their workday, which will eventually lead to a lot of changes to how we work. This may eventually lead to changes to housing prices in different areas, etc. Edit, thanks for all these awards everybody, that's really cool. Yeah, it was actually quite interesting seeing all the news of divorce rates in Japan skyrocketing when they went into a major quarantine. Couples that had been happily married for years and years have their relationships detonate, because apparently, the secret to their happy marriage was never seeing one another. Yes, I am voluntarily moving away from my team and into another one. My co-workers are fine, but the management are assholes, and COVID helped me realize life is too short, there are other opportunities out there. As a legally blind person who's been frustrated for years about job prospects and finding something where I don't have to commute, COVID has been a godsend. Food delivery is great too. The downside is the increased cost of these items factoring in the cost of delivery. I guess if I'm not paying for any car ownership expenses, it probably balances out. Edit, holy crap, my inbox. Since many of you have asked how I am legally blind. Currently my vision is roughly 20/90, and in Canada they consider 20/80 legally blind. I don't know why, but that's what my eye doctor has told me. Basically, I was born with a condition called hydrocephalus, which is where the fluid doesn't drain out of your head. This caused optic nerve damage, so not even glasses or surgery can fix it. No one seems to know how to heal nerve tissue yet. I can see enough to get around and use computers. Up close things are fine, it's just that people more than 15 feet away start to look like a faceless Slenderman and then fade into nothingness after about 50 feet or so. For work, I work in an IT department for a company I live near enough to walk or bike to. I tell people my car payment is an Amazon Prime subscription. Even stuff on Prime takes a long time to get here now though. Back of the envelope, I'm still in the black with all of the delivery costs versus what I would if I calculated it against vehicle wear and tear at $0.50/mile and my time at minimum wage. There have been a few changes, some things just don't work well, but on the whole it has saved money. We haven't ordered prepared food or been to any restaurants since March. I'm sorry if you get offended, but I want to ask that what is difference between blind and legally blind? I have started seeing family more regularly online playing games I had no idea about, Jackbox.tv. It's been fun and never would have happened without the pandemic. Plus older family members are bored and want to talk for literally an hour about mundane stuff. I've learned a lot about them that I'd never known my whole life. Plus my dogs get a ton more exercise and I've saved money not going out, plus I am eating healthier with my own cooking. Yeah, Jackbox. Mom bought Ark just so she could play with me, cause I normally live with my dad. I got to teach her the ropes of it, and we have our own personal server, and she's improved so much. My father has pulmonary fibrosis, which is going to kill him in the next year or so. It's a hereditary disease, which has affected 3 generations of our family in a row. You die from increased scarring of the lungs. Through research into COVID, there's already a fuck ton more understanding into the reversal of lung scarring and potentially a cure on the horizon. I might not die a slow and painful death from this, after all. Yeah. Hey. I'm sorry to hear that. My father had that condition and died 3 years ago. But he didn't suffer a slow and painful death. He caught pneumonia and died within a week. It was really fast and we were there for him all the time. If anything, it caught us by surprise. Stay strong. They can reverse the scarring? Where can I read more about this? Mine got thrashed. The new skills people have been learning. I've never even tried to plant anything, but I learned how to garden this year and now have fresh peppers and tomatoes. Very true, my bread baking has improved a lot, which is not a good thing with the gyms being closed. Organizations with abysmally slow internet connections that have not been updated in decades will do so in order to support video conferencing. /cries in Australian. Best answer I've seen so far. Drive-in movies making a comeback. Yes, agreed. I hadn't been to a drive-in since the 90s and thankfully they started popping up again here in California, so I was able to watch New Mutants and a bunch of classic actions movies this summer. A lot more curbside shopping and food options. Yes. I did a curbside pickup from IKEA, ordered over $1,000 online Friday morning, drove an hour to the store on Saturday morning, waited less than 5 minutes to be told which store to park in and they brought it all out. Loaded myself in 5 to 10 minutes and off I went. Cost me $5 to avoid going into IKEA on a Saturday, plus if you're shopping alone, what do you do if you have 2 carts of stuff? Or even 1? I have to leave it on the loading area and make a dash for the car and hope no one takes anything. I'll be using it in the future for sure and hope they do keep it going. This is going to be one of those changes that helps everyone, especially those who are sick, elderly, or disabled. Imagine getting a cold and having an easy way to pick up necessities with minimum interaction. More help for people with disabilities. Online ordering, grocery delivery, food delivery, it's been nice. Saves me energy when I can make an order for something and do a contactless pickup and they just put it in my car when I drive up. Not everyone has energy to spare for simple things like groceries or errands. Also improvements in telemedicine. Doctor's appointments over the phone has been amazing for my chronic illness too. It means if I'm having a flare and can't go to work, I don't have to waste energy driving to my GP to get a medical certificate when they've already got my full medical records as evidence anyway. It's also great that I now don't have to do a 6-hour round trip to the city to see a specialist for 15 minutes. It's all online or over the phone if I don't need a physical. Companies and schools will not force people to come in when they are sick. I really hope for this one. Well, I'm positive for COVID-19 and despite living with me and having a quarantine order from the doctor, my roommate's workplace is still forcing him to come in, and if he doesn't then they said not to expect a job when he comes back, so I can't vouch for this. Embarrassed smiley face. I think people are going to be a lot more conscious of germs and just public surfaces in general. I know for me it's something I think about constantly now. Yes, for one generation. I think he'll be the same effect that children of war grow to respect and work against, but their children think they are being extra and overbearing. I used to be quite germaphobic. During my time at uni I was working on it, and by the end I felt free from constant need to wash my hands and feeling of having my hand plagued by bacteria. To then have the rest of the world turn very concerned with germs, it makes me feel strange because I certainly don't want my old mindset back. I'm hoping that bathrooms in restaurants will become completely hands-free. I hate that the pull side of the door is on the inside and usually there's no paper towel dispensers anymore to use as a glove to touch the sink/door handles. I vote for more foot pedal controlled faucets and toilets because these motion sensors that never work make me question if I'm a ghost roaming the earth. I was a patient at the Mayo Clinic during the summer and they switched all of their bathrooms to touchless. It was magnificent. It's already mitigated the stigma associated with working at home. Also, you can work from home when you're sick enough to think you might be contagious but not so sick you can't at least do something on your laptop in bed. Less use of sick hours, work is still getting done, and you're not putting others at unnecessary risk. If you have kids then it's also easier to juggle. Like if they're little and can't be alone or are too young for school or you don't have summer care or they're sick, then you can still get some work done while taking care of them. Hopefully we move away from the culture of working through illness. You're not tough for going in anyway. You're quite dumb. I understand that some people can't handle working from home, but if you can, then it should be allowed. It makes you wonder if the point is to get your job done or to micromanage your every action because you're selling your time rather than your output. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.